Hey, what's up? Welcome to the BPO Breakroom podcast. Ang ultimate tambayan ng lahat ng nasa BPO world, whether you're on-site, work from home, or somewhere in between.
Ako si Kay,
And I'm Jae.
here to bring you BPO Life Unplugged. Laugh, learn, and level up.
Dito sa the BPO Breakroom, we are keeping it real. We share real stories and real talk. This is your go-to spot to recharge, connect, and level up.
Whether you're new to the industry or a seasoned pro, meron kami relatable stories, good vibes, at syempre, mga tips to help you thrive in this exciting, sometimes chaotic industry.
Grab your coffee and mag-stretch ng konti.
And join us as we dive into our topic for today. Ready na kayo? Tara, let's go!
The BPO Breakroom podcast. Welcome back, guys! Feel ko ang ganda ng araw today. Ikaw, okay? Feel mo?
Oo naman, sarap nga ng dinner ko din eh.
Anong dinner mo?
Nagprito na ako ng bangus, girl. Do you know sa groceries, I've never thought na makakabili ka doon ng unseasoned boneless bangus.
Unseasoned? Ano yung unseasoned? Walang mga mga seasoning?
Yeah, kasi 'di ba majority of the groceries kapag pumunta ka dun sa frozen goods, 'di ba? Madalas makikita mo doon, meron yung boneless bangus, but it's seasoned kasi like soaked in vinegar, garlic, salt and pepper. But this one kasi that I bought I think few days ago, unseasoned siya. In all fairness, wala talagang natirang bone. You should try it.
Alam ko sa season, matagal na sa industriya. Kaya season dose. Matagal na siya sa dagat. Kaya season dose.
Diba, a lot of people loves tofu. By the way, do you love tofu?
Oo naman, yes, tofu.
Really? Kasi before when I was young, I used to love tofu a lot. Diba, meron tayong mga, yung tokwat baboy, ganyan.
Yeah.
I used to eat that. Let's say, parang may mga with family friends na gathering, tapos laging hindi nawawala yung tokwat baboy. And I used to kind of like devour myself into it. Tapos, I don't know, for some reason, at one point, parang hindi na siya tinatanggap ng sikmura ko. And since then, I hated tofu na.
Parang hindi natin sikmura mo. Like, sinusuka mo
Ha?
siya? Or sabi ng sikmura mo, no,
Oo.
correct. Lalabas sa ano.
Yeah, I would not say it like, kasi ayoko din ako, pasintabi, pero hindi siya tinanggap talaga.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
Pero
correct.
before, okay naman sa'yo.
Okay na okay. Inaano ko siya eh. Tawag dito. Ano tawag doon? Pinapapak ko siya. Ganon.
Pinapapak meaning to say, you just eat tofu alone without any lugaw,
Without
goto,
any
and
rice,
baboy.
yeah.
Really?
Oo.
Okay. Pero kumakain ka ng taho.
Oo, weird no?
Baka ano lang, baka yung mga
Yung texture siguro.
texture, baka na-prito na siya, no?
Correct.
Really?
May mga ganon talaga, no? Even
Correct.
tahong.
Tahong?
Actually, parang sabay sila halos. Magkasunod silang hindi tinanggap ng sigmura ko. So,
Baka ma-arte ka lang sa food talaga. ayoko na explore yung scientific reason behind that. Baka ma-arte ka lang talaga sa pagkain.
actually, baka
Huwag na tayo mag-overthink dito, no?
correct ka dyan.
True. And actually for today's episode, I'm really excited because this segment or this topic is called the Trigger Talk.
Trigger Talk. Trigger Talk.
Today's topic would be mental health in the fast lane, coping with stress and burnout in the BPO industry. What do you think about it, Jay?
I think it's not uncommon for the people who probably not just in the BPO industry but also for people who are in the creative space, who are actually using their creativity and their intelligence and their efforts, not really spending time to unplug and becoming overwhelmed with everything that's happening both in the working space and their personal lives. It's really not uncommon in the Philippines workforce.
Yeah, you know what? I can totally agree with you. That is why we also have, speaking of unplugged, right? I think it is worth talking about the common triggers. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and yung fear of you being left out, kaya most people that I know who have been experiencing this kind of mental struggle, their fear of not being able to catch up with the trends, with what's happening around them, so they feel overwhelmed. So ending, ayan, stress and burnout sila.
Correct. And I feel like you're kind of like describing me in a way, but I
Oo,
think
ikaw nga yun.
it's just that majority of the people experiences that, and that's why it's really worth to talk about, diba? Well, we do have four things that I know the majority of the people, especially in the BPO industry, would relate. Number one would be the holiday stress. Ito yung mga BPO workload during this busy season, lalo na paparating ng Christmas, New Year's Eve, and syempre marami tayong mga Christmas parties, not just in the
Mm.
office, with your friends, with your family, iba pa nga yun sa mga relatives natin, di ba? And of
Mm.
course, how year-end peak seasons amplify workload and emotional strain. And that's really something, di ba?
Mm.
So, that's number one. Number two would be the work-life balance. Ito yun during the holiday, a lot of invites, especially the strategies for setting boundaries when always on culture prevails. So, I don't know, but with all of these common triggers, of course, it is really important that we do practical coping mechanism,
Mm.
which is why I would be more than happy to also share with everyone some tips of for managing stress, anxiety, and fatigue, and especially with you, Jay, right?
Mm.
I think we can all agree that we will all be coming from our own experience, not just with other people's experience. And but something that's really exciting about this is the success story, right? So
May
this would be
talaga merong taong successful sa ano, pag-cope with the stress, okey.
Hindi, when I say success story, ito yung insight from one BPO professional that I personally know of who have found effective ways to
Mm.
prioritize mental well-being.
Hmm.
So,
Eh, di
I think
siya na kamo.
siya na, sana all, di ba?
Correct.
Ready ka na ba, Jay?
Yeah, go. I wanted to you mentioned kanina yung holiday stress ano, and the pressure is really
Mm,
real. Tama ba ako? Yun yung number one mo, tama?
yes.
What exactly is so stressful about holiday ba?
Well, coming from personal experience, I would say na alam naman natin lahat, di ba, kapag BPO, hindi uso ang Christmas shutdown. We always work. There's no holiday for us, right?
Mm.
But the good thing about it is that we get double pay. But in reality, it's kind of like pressuring in some sort.
Mm.
By the means na naka-headset ka habang yung iba alam mong nagpa-party, pero ikaw, good
True.
evening, thank you for calling. Di ba?
Agree. I remember nga before, pero once ko lang to na-experience, ano, I was a TL at this big company, no. Christmas and New Year, we were present. So imagine, ako nagko-coach ako ng agent while everyone else in the Philippines nagka-countdown ng 10, 9, 8, Happy New
Oh,
Year. And then ako nagko-coach ako, mga agents ko is nagko-call. So it's real, it's true, it's happening in the BPO space,
yes.
and it's kind of stressful.
But I'm curious, how do you find it stressful? Kasi we have different take about stress.
Ako, to be honest with you, yung moment na yon, it was siguro stressful siya, but more on asking myself, why am I here? Why am I not with my family?
Oh,
Why am I doing this? But then again, at the end of the day, it's, you know, it's a requirement from the position that I am fulfilling at that time. So I think nanaig pa rin sa akin yung whys ko, why I'm doing it,
mm,
right? So how I manage that emotion is going back to my whys. Because at the end of the day, you know, regardless how much struggles we experience in our daily lives, if we can just be truthful and we can just go back to our whys, I think we can surpass it.
that's very insightful. You know, lalo na ngayon, for sure, madaming makaka-relate, di ba? And I like that. But, you know, even if, you know, no matter how easy to say it, sometimes other people would find it, you know,
Mhm.
so hard to do or to start with.
Mhm.
So, but we'll get into that, right, Jay? That's why we're discussing this.
I think yung second, since we're talking about holiday stress, ano, one of the and then going back to what I shared kanina, was a lot of people who in the BPO space who
Mm.
are experiencing this stress because they have not reached the acceptance stage yet.
Oh, I like that.
Right?
Acceptance
Meaning,
stage. Sige, let's hear
correct.
it.
For example ako, right? Yung TL ako noon, pinapasok kami ng Christmas and then ng New Year, right?
Mm-mm.
I was able to easily accept it na it's the reality, it's the requirement from the job, it's the requirement from me as a TL, it's requirement by the client, and it's how the business goes. If the moment that I was able to accept that reality, that fact, it becomes easier for me not to be reluctant and not to be stressed, because again, stress always comes from a reluctance to the reality, right? So
Correct.
yun. So I think we just need to really make sure that we do what we can and accept the reality. And I'm sounding like it's a walk in the park. Na it's easy to accept things. It's easy to accept reality. No, it really is. It really isn't uh, easy. But then again, that's the goal, and it's a journey.
Correct. Parang may ano yan eh, nadapa ka, but I don't want you to stop running.
Correct,
'Di ba?
correct. And then nadapa ka
Ganon.
na, and then ayaw mong tanggapin na nadapa ka.
Oo,
Pero dahil may sugat ka
exactly.
na right? You're already there. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna
Correct. Kaya importante talaga na i-acknowledge natin yung stress, right? Let's say you're stressed because you're not with your family during the holiday season. Pero one thing that you have to know is that hindi lang ito physical na pagod, 'di ba? Mentally draining din siya. But the moment that you
True.
start acknowledging things,
Mhm.
you'll get through it, 'di ba?
Correct. Most especially, one of the holiday triggers then is yung, syempre may pasok na tayo, hindi ba?
Mm.
Yung majority of the industries in the BPO world during this season, yung workload ay talaga nag-amplify, most especially in the sales industry. Because this is the moment, or this is the season wherein most of the customers would call in to buy a lot of stuff, would be available to buy stuff because they have a lot of money, and it's really mentally and emotionally draining, most especially for the agents, na queuing, they
Mm.
are answering 100 to 200 calls per day, and while knowing that their family is celebrating Christmas and New Year without them. So I think that's additional one, yung workload during this season.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Jay. But I am also curious and I have a question with that. You've been in the BPO industry for 2 decades now. But is
Oh,
it
2 decades naman.
really I sorry, almost 2 decades. But
18 years, and I started working in the BPO world when I was 7 years old. So I'm just 25 now. Sorry.
yeah, what I meant was almost 2 decades. I'm so
uh,
sorry. But, 'di ba, was it really super queuing talaga? Or was there any point na may times naman talagang avail?
Depende, I think, depende sa program, sa account mo. If it's an
Oh.
inbound type of setup, like you wait for customers to call you, like most especially in the customer service, super queuing siya.
Oh,
Customer
okay.
service. Now, when it comes to for sales naman, inbound sales, may moment na queuing siya, because most especially during their shopping season, during the holidays, yan queuing siya because customers would really call in to buy stuff. Now, when it comes to outbound naman, outbound sales, it's queuing in the sense that the dialer will feed your system with a lot of numbers to call, pero you will only be able to talk to a real and live person, siguro mga 5 out of 50 numbers called. So, it really depends on the campaign
Okay.
pa rin. Pero ang mostly impacted setup is yung mga inbound customer service. Shout
Oh,
out yung mga ano dyan, yung mga
okay.
customer service during this holiday. Comment in
Correct.
the section below if you agree with me.
I think a lot would definitely agree with that. Especially that, probably the people that's gonna listen to us are already in their seat.
True, true.
Probably about to take their calls o di kaya baka nasa pantry lang sila nagpapahinga muna and then mamaya sabak na naman sa gera.
Correct. Ang pinakamalupit siguro that I can share is yung as in talagang say number one na stressed is yung inbound customer service for an e-commerce campaign. Customers are calling in asking where's my order. And
Mm-mm.
these are the customers who placed an order and they have not received their orders yet, and now they are bombarding the customer service line asking where their orders are. So during this holiday
Correct.
season, yung talaga super talagang I think you can relate to that. Tama ba ako? Okay.
Oo naman, kasi 'di ba, majority of the customers are purchasing product, especially kung lalo na holiday season. So definitely there would be a point na during the holidays they would look for their product kasi there's a reason behind it. Number one is baka mamaya binili pala nila yun for their friends, 'di ba?
Correct.
Or number two, they bought it because during the holiday seasons, there's a lot of offers, good deals, kumbaga. So nakakuha
Correct.
sila ng magagandang discount. And of course, they're excited about it. Maybe they would love to brag about it, 'di ba? But anyway, there's a lot of great things and bad things, but so long as you can start to accept your reality.
True.
Um, just do what you can and accept mo na hindi mo kayang sakupin lahat. And most importantly, you have to schedule your me time kahit busy ka. Kahit quick coffee lang or break man lang with yourself
Tarin
or a
ng me time ba
10-minute
yan?
breathing.
Me time. How do you spend
Me
your me
time.
time?
Ako, me time
Mm.
ko,
Hindi rin jowa mo. Anong me time? No, no, ikaw tayo.
hindi, I love spending my me time. Hihilata lang, manonood lang ng series sa
Deboning ng bangus.
deboning ng bangus. Yeah. Paano ko ba mapapagaan ang pakiramdam ni Jay sa pagkain ng boneless bangus nang
True,
hindi
true.
siya matitinig?
Oh, thank you. Appreciate you. Siguro another common trigger is yung during this holiday season, yung work-life balance.
Oh, I'm curious. Why do you say
Yeah.
so?
Kasi during the holidays, no, aside from you being busy at work, you also have a lot of errands during this holiday season, like buying gifts for your family, setting up and organizing Christmas parties for your family, for your team, for your barcadas and all that. So it's really like juggling multiple tasks at the same time.
Yeah, I think I'm experiencing that right now. What about you, Jay? Do you always find yourself like stuck in that craziness?
Hindi. I want to be honest with you and with
Hmm.
everyone listening. Ano, I really, siguro before, nung medyo I wasn't in a proper headspace yet, that I really am super stressed because there's a lot of things that I was juggling, right? But right now, I'm not allowing myself to get stressed. Whenever I feel that I'm becoming stressed na, I unplug.
Oy, is it that easy to unplug?
It's easy to unplug, yes. That's most special. And I don't I don't conform with yung always on culture natin dito sa Pilipinas. Like, hey, you need to do this. Hey, kailangan ka dito. Hey, kailangan mo i-organize to. Yeah, gagawin ko yan. But no, I don't conform with that anymore. I will only tell you that, hey, I'm okay doing this. However, once I'm done with this, I have to do something else, right? And I think
Ay,
it also goes to show how we should be properly communicating that to the people around us. Para hindi din siya stressful kasi mamaya,
correct.
you're setting boundaries and the people do not know where you're coming from, so it could create friction din, hindi ba?
Oh, you know what? I think not just me, but everyone that's listening right now would be able to relate to that. Kasi we are all people pleaser to begin with, 'di ba? Parang yan yung ano natin default mode nating lahat, 'di ba?
True.
Until we get to learn. We get to learn how to set boundaries, how to say no. Naku, yan ang pinakamahirap
Talaga ba, Kay?
gawin.
Coming from you, ha? Ako hindi,
Yeah,
no? Ako
sabi
ng
ko,
no.
pinakamahirap gawin, di ba? Na yun yung pinakamahirap gawin, pero kailangan mong gawin. So my question for you, Jay, hanggang saan ka lang?
Hanggang saan lang ako. One thing that I've learned, and just to share with you and with everyone around the world listening to us, I think a few months ago, I started this journey of Stoicism. It's an entirely new philosophical take on life and whatnot. No, siguro to answer your question, whatever situations, people, things, or even thoughts that do not align and do not serve my peace and my worth, I'll stop.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, for sure, you've gone through a lot before you come up with that kind of approach in life. Kasi other people would not find the breaking pad na tutulong sa kanila na, wait, eto lang ako. Hanggang dito lang kaya ko.
Correct.
'Di ba? Kasi kung di mo kaya, wag mo talagang pipilitin. Okay lang magsabi ng no. Hindi ka masamang tao, empleyado, kung
Wow,
hindi
coming
ka...
from you, ha?
Hindi, di ba? Parang may sinasabi sila na if you get to speak to your younger self, what would you tell her?
Correct.
So, I think I am in that position right now. But anyway, di ba? Parang lagi mong gini-guilt trip sarili mo na if you don't do this, people would, think bad of you.
Correct. And I think this is also a sermon for you, Kay, no? Do not think like saying no saying no, it means that you cannot do it, right? You
Oo.
can do it, but you just don't want to do it. You don't need to do it to prove something, right? Because again, you need to prioritize your well-being. You need to prioritize what's serving your peace and your worth. If that something is not serving your peace, number one ko is peace. If that specific task does not serve my peace anymore, no, I won't. I'm sorry, but I won't do it. But of course, when you say no naman, you have to really be respectful
Correct.
and diplomatic about saying no. You cannot just say, hey, ayoko niyan. No. Right?
Yeah, that's actually what I want to learn from you, Jay. Kasi especially that you've been here in this type of industry for too long naman na compared to mine na talagang flourishing pa lang. How can we better, say no to someone, especially from the higher ups, that you're trying to communicate in a clear but respectful manner, and at the same time diplomatic, or what we can call as firm.
Okay, number one is check your bandwidth first. Right? If your bandwidth is already full and then there's a new project that's being handed out to you, then you can simply, outline to your boss that, hey boss, here are the things that are on my plate right now. These things that are on my plate right now, also tell them the deadline of this project and when they can expect for you to finish those projects. And then after that is tell your boss that this project you can take that on after you've finished the existing ones. Or let me know boss, which one should I prioritize? Because again, hindi ka naman yung kalaban ni Ariel sa Little Mermaid. Hindi ka naman octopus, hindi ba? Yun.
Para
So you can
kaming galamay panggawa ng trabaho.
correct. You can only do as much and you prioritize them. Because again, if you're going to be taking on a lot of tasks that you cannot handle anymore, that's not serving your peace anymore. Hindi ba? So I think with that kind of strategy in saying no, I think your boss would really understand. And then at
I
the same
love
time,
that.
you're also actually involving your boss to help you prioritizing. Right? So let me know, boss, which one should I
Oo.
prioritize? I have five tasks on my plate right now, and then there's a new one that you wanted me to take on, which I can do, but I need your help in which one I should prioritize. Right? Para at least
Oh, okay.
moving forward, your boss, clear expectation mo with your boss na, hey, okay, boss, ito yung sabi mong prioritize ko. It means that task number 4 and number 5 will be out of the pipeline.
I love that. You know what? That's a very good step to learn, no? Especially if you're trying to set healthy boundary. Kasi
True,
minsan
true, true.
naman, yung iba, sa sobrang gusto nilang mag-set ng boundary, sometimes it can become toxic kasi. But you must learn how to set proper and healthy boundary na in a way that you're not stepping in a line. So, ayun.
I think
And,
ang magiging problema dyan is, what if your boss said no?
yeah, actually, that's my follow-up question.
Or run
But what
away
if,
na.
no matter how you did it well, what if your boss says no? So what would be the best response, or how would you deal with that?
Okay, then said no, then set expectation. Okay, boss, I will take this on, but just set expectation, the deadline for this will be after I finish everything else that you wanted me to do. Right?
Oh, that's still firm, no? But in a way that it's still clear and
Correct.
respectful at the same time.
Oh, correct.
Yeah, I think those would be our 3 keywords for this topic. When we say work-life balance and setting boundaries, you have to set a clear tone, remain respectful, and impose firmness.
Yeah, I agree. I think what we need to also explore is ano ba yung mga coping mechanisms na pwede nating ma-share sa isa't isa
Oh.
and with everyone, no?
Oh yes. You know what? Kung pupunta tayo sa practical coping mechanisms, ito na yung mga tips na pwedeng gawin agad para ma-manage yung stress, anxiety, at fatigue. Lalo na minsan, sometimes working on an operation can be quite overwhelming and hindi maiiwasan na nagkakaroon ka ng episode. Have you experienced that before? Na parang
Oo,
talagang
as
out of
in.
nowhere, nag-breakdown ka na lang.
Hindi lang break. As in, I remember before, early years in this industry, no, I was a TL and then nag-taxi pa ako ng going to work to Makati. Habang nasa taxi ako, I'm checking emails. I'm checking meron tayo bagong CSAT, may mga dumating na surveys na. And then, pag may decent akong dumating na habang nasa taxi ako, expect mo ako na maglalakad ako inside the production for nagdadabog.
Oh my goodness, I
Oo,
can
as-
only imagine.
And then uupo ako ng desk ko, as in ibabato ko yung bag ko sa desk, and then my agents would just pass me by and would not greet me good morning because they know I was already in the bad.
Oh, really?
Sobrang stress yan.
Would that consider that your worst episode?
Hindi pa.
Hindi pa? Really?
Hindi pa
Oh,
yun.
okay.
Light
There's
pa lang
something
yun.
there. So,
Because,
what is the first thing in mind that you think that we should
Take
do as
take mindful breaks. Huwag mong maliitin ang 5-minute pause, yung deep breathing exercises or pag-stretch sa station mo, sobrang laking bagay.
And you know what? I think something that would also help to that would be hydrate and eat well. Lalo na sa mga taong katulad ko na feeling nila kapag ka
Akala ko,
lagi
tulad sa taong-
nagbabayo break.
Akala ko sabihin mo tulad sa taong katulad ko naman nahilig kumain.
Pwede din, actually. Pero kasi, di ba, I don't know, but to anyone that's listening right now na makaka-relate, I think we can all agree na minsan nakakalimutan natin tong simpleng bagay na hydrate and eat well.
This is a very good point, ano? And before, when I was interviewing, OM na ako noon, I was interviewing candidates for a TL position. One of my questions to this candidate was, how do you manage stress? And he told me, I eat lomi. FYI, binagsak ko yung candidate na yon, pero I just really remember this topic. So, kung sino ka man, shout out to you. I'm sorry.
Pero yun, tama yun. Actually, kaya before, talagang parang ginigil trip ko din sarili ko. Kasi parang, if you think about hydrate, ang naiisip ko agad a lot of bio break. And I feel like kapag lagi ako nagsistep out of work, kahit sa mismong workstation ko, I feel so unproductive. Until na siningil ako ng katawan ko, ayan, nagka-gout.
Sisingilin ka talaga. Best in long gout ka ngayon, hindi ba?
Correct! Hindi po pwede sa matataas ang uric acid.
Hindi pwede ang mga nuts sa mga tao galing Guatemala.
Correct! Guatemala!
O kaya, if you really cannot stand up and go to the restroom, mag-catheter ka na. Another thing is sleep optimization. Alam ko mahirap lalo na sa mga taong katulad natin na nasa BPO world na mostly graveyard shift, pero small changes help. Like for example, bumili ako ng melatonin. Hello, melatonin. Kasi sino man siya. Melatonin that really helps me a lot talaga in terms of having good rest. Because if you're not well rested, hindi ka magiging 100% sa trabaho mo the following day. If you're not 100% energized sa trabaho mo, then you're not gonna be able to deliver. If you're not gonna be able to deliver, then papasok ang pressure, papasok ang stress. So parang it will trickle down to stress pa rin. How's your sleep pala lately, okay?
My sleep?
Hindi,
Never
sleep
mind.
ng gawa mo.
If I sleep like 8 hours, pagod ako. Pagod yung pakiramdam ko. Siguro I've come to a point na eto na yung sa edad ko na paunti ng paikli yung tulog ko.
Really?
Alam mo yun? And with 5 hours of sleep, I can be so energetic and even sometimes I can last for 24 hours. Yeah.
I think the
That's
last
good.
one practical coping mechanism is connecting with someone.
I would highly agree to that kasi when I got so busy at work, we often, forgot about the people that's really important for us. Number one is your family and even your partner, di ba? So,
Wala kang partner dahil, huwag kang makasama.
ay, sorry. Pero, well, in all honesty, nakakalimutan talaga natin minsan. Even the smallest things, and especially the people that is around you that really loves you, right? And you're starting to neglect them. So it's really important that apart from touching the grass, you connect with someone, spend more quality time, right?
Wow, yeah. As a simple call lang, a simple, text message. I always believe na we should have an outlet. And that could be in a form of calling someone that you know, calling a friend or calling a relative, or even, sending a text message to someone and then conversing through text messages that for you, just an outlet for you to get your mind off of that stressful moment that you just had, or just mag-rant ka lang talaga, right? An outlet
Correct.
lang talaga.
Nakakagaan ng pakiramdam, no? But you always have to be careful din. Kasi sometimes, people, when you started, venting out to them.
I-screenshot nila, ilalagay sa Facebook.
Hindi lang yun.
Diba?
Ang masama pa niyan, gagatungan ka. So, ang mangyayari niyan, imbis na vent out lang sana, lumala pa yung ano mo.
Sabagay,
Di ba? Yung negative thoughts
Piliin mo rin yung gawin outan mo.
Imagine nagbe-vent out ka, tapos siya, mas galit pa siya sa'yo.
Ayo.
Di ba?
Ang ending, ikaw naka-move on na, siya galit pa rin.
Oo. So, siya na naman yung problema mo ngayon.
Siya ngayon, tatawa sa'yo, para mag-vent. Parang,
Oo. So, parang nagkakaroon na siya ng unhealthy cycle, di ba? So, ayan.
my final thoughts on our topic today with regard to coping with stress and burnout in the BPO industry. But what really worked for me is, number one, setting boundary. Try to learn when to unplug and when to say no. What I mean by that is detach yourself from thoughts, situations, and even people that are not going to serve your peace and your worth. That's really going to make a huge impact on how you handle stress or what could really trigger your stress. And number two is making time. Do not find time, but make time to focus on your well-being, like doing meditation or doing the things that bring you joy, like, as simple as talking to the closest friend that you have, or playing Mobile Legends, doing some form of movement like going to the gym. You make time to those activities because this will really get your minds off of a stressful situation.
I would definitely agree to that. And ang pinaka-takeaway ko siguro dito is that your mental health is just as important as your job performance. Hindi ka robot. Kaya okay lang talaga magpahinga. Because at the end of the day, hindi mo kailangang i-sacrifice sa sarili mo para lang mag-fit sa yes culture, right? So just take breaks, set boundaries like what you've mentioned nga, and ask for help when needed. Ito na yung magko-connect ka sa mga tao na that you also think that you trust din naman. So to those who are listening to us, of course we want to hear from you. What's your favorite coping mechanism? Drop your thoughts in the comments, right, Jay?
Agree. So let's interact on our social media accounts. We have presence on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and even on X app. And we'll be releasing our very own exclusive Discord groups. So abangan nyo din yan. So thanks for joining us and stay tuned.
And that
for the
wraps
next
up another episode of the BPO
podcast.
Breakroom.
Perfect.
Salamat sa
Bye
pagsama sa amin
everyone,
today.
and we hope you enjoyed the kwentuhan and learned something new. Don't forget, laugh, learn, and level up.
And follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok for exciting updates, tips, and more chikahan.
Give us a thumbs up and share this with your workmates. Baka ito na ang break time inspiration nila. Until next time, stay awesome, stay productive, and always take time to recharge. Kita-kits ulit dito sa The BPO Breakroom.